the trusses, building it from the top. You can see I just added these cross beams so I don't have to do it on the ladder. And it's still light enough that I can carry up there the ladder. And then on each end, I'm going to put one of these blocks, like the whole thing was assembled as you see through there on the top. And even that was here on the midsection. Those little blocks that connect with bolts. I learned from experience, from trial and error, are these two little holes. Doesn't show in the directions, but you pound those holes. Those holes are markers. Pound this with a rubber mallet for those holes to meet up with that. And it's important to take that little sticker off, because that sticker will googe on there and get caught on those holes, then you'll miss it. And I actually had one that's like this short, a couple of them on that building, but I figured since the whole structure is going to be built around, it'll continue to maintain its strength. So that's the main concern out of the building, this whole kit. And then maybe take a grinder and grind these edges on the when you try to put on that last fitting, like you saw that I did earlier, how I struggled putting it on. So kind of round these edges with a grinder, only on the one that you put on the final end. And other than that, you just wiggle and you just keep pushing and taking the rubber mallet and banging it on, and you can do it yourself. So that's about it. It's coming to the end. As you can see, on every one of those, when you have to put that last end, that's the hardest part of the whole project right there. I could be spending like an hour trying to pound it on there. So what I did is I took the grinder and rounded these edges, as you saw in that example photo. And then this is the only one where I use the lubricant. You don't use the lubricant for anything else. Somehow, because that's that last one, it has all the pressure and there's no wiggle room. So it's extremely hard to put that on. So for my experiences, is you use some of this, find a good rubber mallet, and you pound on each end, and I can easily do it myself. That's how I've been doing it. Got the first two pieces of the metal roof on. And there's a lot of trial and error in figuring this out, and to do it such ease with being so high, at nearly 13 feet high there on the top. So as you notice, it'll come in 2 boxes. And the trick was I already put one up and I didn't realize there was plastic under here. So I had to go like take it off and pull the plastic off. And this plastic is really, it's time consuming to take off. It almost feels like as long as putting the roof on, taking this plastic off, but it protects it, keeps it from getting scratched. So we take all that plastic off first, then go up there with the ladder, and then you'll notice there's a slight incline to that side, to the front of it, as you can see right there as I'm pointing. That side right there is higher as it's lower here. And as the instructions, I made the shingles so the rainwater will go with the incline. So that's what I'm doing depending on your situation on this kit. And then it does come with this rubber sealant, which I'm gonna go ahead and pre-put it on there as I put it up there, so that way I could do as minimal up there as I can. And I'll show you a demonstration. I'll overlap each shingle until I get to the end on these 2 top pre-drilled holes. As you can see, the top has the pre-drilled holes. So that kind of gives me the easy way of setting these. So I'll just layer the other one right over this and then fit them on there loosely and then just work my way right all the way up to the front. You can see how that rubber goes right on there from the shingle. So as the incline of the rain will go that direction, since that's the lower end, and I just go ahead down on the first 2. Most time-consuming thing is taking this plastic off. It literally takes almost 15 minutes to take it off each panel. You can get one of your kids or someone just to take this off. Just be careful, wear gloves. You can get cut easily. But just this alone would save a lot of time. But I guess that's how they do it, to prevent the scratches. And it looks like it's not on there, so you can end up putting it on there and not know it. So it's probably the hardest part of the whole project than putting the roof itself. second row. And in my opinion, that was the hardest because I had longer reach, as you can see right here. Couple things out of safety. Definitely invest in good ladders, at least a 12-foot high ladder like this one that I have. I feel very safe on the ground. However, if you've got a fear of heights, this is another thing I've noticed. Once you're working on the roof, you forget how high you are. At the same time, you got to be really careful. You make one move, it's over. So be very careful at that matter. Be very cautious. But it is a lot easier. You can see I can reach up here. Before I put the roof panels, I was extremely scared. I didn't think I can do it. So, and another thing, I only used one screw from each side. And the reason why, so that way I can line up these holes, as you can see. As long as you line up the holes, it naturally levels itself, which saves time. So now, at the end of the project, I'm going to go ahead and just repeat and go back and have the fun part and just screw in all the holes. I thought the end eaves would be a lot easier, but no, they're not. You got gravity working against you. So you'll notice on the ends, I secured it with both just to keep it from the wind from knocking it down. After a hard rainfall, you can see how it got its leakages. The incline wasn't deep enough or steep enough for the water to completely drain, so it's catching right at those areas. And that's how that water's seeping in between all those major leaking spots, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to make my best efforts to make this roof a lot more rainproof. I'm going to replace those cheap screws that it came in the kit with these high quality that I got at a lumber, like a Ziggy's out in the Spokane area, or any heavy duty lumber place. This is number 14, it's a thicker one. And the thicker one would work better because it would lock better and prevent a leak. And they're pretty expensive. You probably get like $40 for a big bag of them. But to make your roof not ever leak and be strong, I'm going to go for it. After a few days of the big rain, it's all dried. And I've already replaced a lot of those screws. However, the ones on the top panel, this thing is extremely weak. And if I even tried to put my 150 pounds up there, it would probably bend the roof if I straddled between there. So I'm not going to risk it because I just put my elbow. But the reason why it's as light as it is, it's super easy to build and do it yourself. So what I'm going to do for safety, I got myself some of this rubber seal. I'll show you right here. Silicone top coat, about $100 a gallon on Amazon. And I'm going to go to the tippy top. I got this 9-foot extension adjustment with a tool brush setup. Got all that on Amazon. And I'm gonna clean it. And you can see I've already replaced the high quality screws. That's as far as I can safely go up there and reach. That end there, I can't. So that's where the extension is going to be used to brush that onto the tip. You can even have the option to add more siding to the end. As you notice, the lighter side, I went to my local hardware store and picked it up and got the standard 3x6